Streaming intermediate results in RAG is a crucial part for good user experience, especially if the RAG pipeline is complex and includes loads of tools and agents. Instead of making the user stare at a loading spinner, we can keep the user updated with the intermediate steps like this. Alright, let's see how to build this. GitHub repository for this project is linked in the description. We'll create a custom event handler, which we will then attach to our root dispatcher. The custom handler will push relevant events to an event queue, and then we'll send those events from the queue to the frontend using server-sent events, which will be received by Vercel AI SDK. We're going to use create llama tool to bootstrap our project. We run create llama, answer the questions, and wait for the dependencies to be installed. Now let's go to the backend part and generate our index for the first time. Now that the index is created, we are ready to start the server. The backend is running. Now let's start the frontend as well. And in no time, we have a fully functional chatbot ready. Big up create llama. Now we will update the code to show the intermediate steps on the side like this. First, in the chat.py file, let's import the base event handler, getDispatcher function, and all relevant events from the instrumentation module. We get the root dispatcher from the getDispatcher function. We create a Pydantic class for the event to send and a counter for counting tokens. We initialize our event queue. Now we create our custom event handler, which is a subclass of the base event handler. We implement the handle method that takes the event. For each relevant event type, we create an event to send object with relevant messages and status. For the chat end event, we use LlamaIndex token counter to count the used tokens. Finally, we add our custom event handler to the root dispatcher. Inside the chat router handler function, we can see that there is an event generator function that generates the tokens. Inside the function, we run a loop and get the next event from our event queue in each iteration. We break out of the loop if the current event is the last event. Next, we need to send the event data exactly in this format for Vercel AI SDK to properly decode it. Also, we need to change the media type to text/event stream and add this header, as StreamData is still an experimental feature. We need to add this as well in main.py for the same reason. Now in the front end, let's create a status component to show the received data. It takes the data as a prop, maps over them, and renders the status and messages of the events. Inside the chat section component, we add that status component next to the messages and the input component. Now it will show the intermediate steps like query embedding, retrieval, and also the token uses at the end on the right side.